Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about a couple newer palettes. If you don't know, I am a big fan of color. Even today with something a bit more neutral, I wanted to kind of use a more like a brighter mustard color, so that's what you see, and it is from one of the palettes, but I wanted to kind of balance it and make it a little bit more wearable so that you can see I can use these two really bold palettes in a more neutral look. So we have from SUGARPILL the Fun Size Mini Color Palette, and then I also picked up the Venus Vivid from Lime Crime. So two very different palettes, but they have, you know, a very bright, bold color story in each. So I just felt like, why not put them in a video together? I have clips of using both of these palettes in different ways, different looks, and hopefully you guys will find that interesting. So if you are keen to see my thoughts on these two palettes, then just keep watching. All right, let's start with SUGARPILL. That is the first one that I use. It's also what I have on my eyes today. I feel like I kind of favored this one just a little bit, but I do like both of these palettes. I'll go ahead and tell you, they both have, you know, a couple of pros and a couple of cons. So with the SUGARPILL, it's adorable, and it is a really small travel friendly palette. So if you do like bright colors, or perhaps you have a lot of neutrals and you just want one palette with pops of color, then this is your pop of color. First off, the mirror is a heart, super cute, and all the names are very like gaming related. That's why it's got like that pixelated look. So Cheat Code, 8-Bit Player One, Continue, Rage Quit, which I think is such a funny name. So beautiful colors in this palette. It's more of a like bright pastel, if that makes sense, and I will swatch a little bit more so you can see, but just to give you an idea, they are not quite incredibly soft pastels, but they are on the pastel side. I think it's like that nice balance where they are, God, I'm gonna say pastel 50 times, but they're pastel without being so light that you can't see them. For instance, I had a Lorac palette, I think that was the Brunch palette, and it had a lot of beautiful pastels, but they were so soft and so light that they hardly showed up. Like on me, maybe with a really light background on the eye because I'm so fair, but for anybody else, they're just so light. With these, you actually get some color with them, so I'm really impressed about that. The first look I did using this palette, I kind of did a rainbow on both eyes, so I wanted to use almost every color in the palette. I went from Twitch to Cheat Code to 8-Bit on one side, and then I started with High Score, Game Over, and then I went into the pinks as well. I haven't really used Rage Quit or Player One. I didn't really go for a lot of purple, but I wanted to use lots of colors, so that's why I did two different colors on each eye. So the only time I had any issues with this was blending a little bit the blue and the green on the outer corner of my eye, which you will be able to tell. I had to kind of go over it a little bit, and then I wound up kind of softening it with a sponge. It actually turned out really beautiful in my opinion. Most of the colors blend beautifully together. So what I have on my eyes today is the shade Continue. I also mixed in a little bit of High Score, which is this orange, to create this kind of like mustard look I have on all my upper lid. And then I just added a dark brown. It's from this sultry Anastasia palette. So I just wanted to kind of deepen it and give it a little bit of a fall vibe and make it more wearable. So you can definitely take a shade or two from this palette, pair it with some neutrals, and still make a really, really wearable eye look. So I really love this one. Like I said, it had a little hiccup with the blending, but for the most part, it was really good. I personally love SUGARPILL. I've never been disappointed in anything that I've gotten from them, so highly recommend. This one does go for $28, and it is a 9-pan palette. The pans are not incredibly large, but I feel like with a bright palette like this isn't something most people are going to go through in a hurry. Most people will, you know, pop one color under the eye, maybe blend one shade on top, but unless you just wear brights all the time, you don't really need more than this. And I feel like $28 for the quality is very good. You can get this on Ulta as well, so if you like to rack up those points, or you want to get it when you have like 5 times the points or something, there's always those options too. But I think $28 is pretty reasonable for this, especially considering that SUGARPILL is not cheap. A lot of their shadows, especially if you price their singles online, are super expensive. I'm sure they are amazing quality, but they can get really, really pricey. I've always wanted to build one of the big palettes, but it costs a pretty penny to do that. So I just wanted to kind of jump at the opportunity to grab something small. I think fun size for a palette like this is perfect. And yeah, I really like this palette. Let's move on. All right, and now for the Venus. So this one is $38. I think it is maybe just a little bit high high for what you get. There are 8 colors in this one. You do get a little bit more size with the pans, but not all that much more. And again, like I said, when are you going to go through these colors? So for these, they are very bright, very bold. In a few of the shades, I do feel like a texture when I swatch it in, especially this pink down here, where it feels, I don't want to make it sound really negative, but like just a little bit of grit to it. It's not incredibly smooth, but they are vibrant. You can see in these swatches right here, just the quickest little swatch, they are very vibrant and super, super bright. So if you want high impact pigments, this is definitely a good one. This one did, because it's so pigmented, you have to go really slow with this one. If you like put your brush in a couple of times and then go right in, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to blend because the pigment is insane. So I think kind of the vibe of the palette made me want to incorporate black into my eye look. I love in a palette, especially a neutral one, I love a good black eyeshadow. I feel like it is a staple. Unless you are someone who likes very soft eye looks, you need something dark to kind of balance the others. So for example, even like today, I went with a mustard, but I have a dark chocolate brown in the outer corners of my eyes to kind of balance it and give a little bit of like sultriness in the outer corner. So I kind of wanted to play that vibe, but also use bright colors. And I love the look. It definitely was more bold, but I find it a little bit more wearable than just wearing bam bright bold colors. I love that look, especially for an evening look when you're going out. Maybe you're going to a party, maybe you're going to a concert, something. I feel like it's one of those that stands out but still has some tastefulness to it, even though it's like so bright. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I love bright colors, so I am probably a little bit biased in that, but this one is very bold. I feel like this one's maybe a little less wearable on its own because they are so fiercely pigmented, whereas the Sugarpill has a few colors like the yellow and the orange that are somewhat softer and lean just slightly neutral. Granted, it's still very bright, but when you look at these, I find that most people are probably going to be a little bit more timid with this one, and rightfully so, because again, if you go in with a heavy hand, it is going to look a little crazy at first. But I do really enjoy both of these palettes. I feel like I kind of favor the Sugarpill just a little bit. It's $10 cheaper, you get one more shade in here, and it's that color palette that most people will not have. You may have, you know, an old Urban Decay electric palette sitting around, I know I do, that has colors like this that are really bold and really bright, and by all means, if that is your thing, grab this palette because it is gorgeous. But I don't feel that most brands have come out with a palette that is leaning more soft pastel but still bright, and you can still create a rainbow look with this. And I don't know, I just love it. I feel like, especially the orange and red, perfect for fall, and this is a great transition into spring when you want to use a little bit more color. I know I'm thinking way ahead, and we're here at the end of summer. All these bright colors and palettes are coming out, and I'm kind of like overwhelmed. So if you haven't seen all the new palettes that came out, Melt came out with a radioactive palette, kind of like this color palette. I will say I was very disappointed when I swatched that one. These are so much better in my opinion, and that one is also really overpriced, I think, for what you get. Now, usually I love Melt. Their Gemini palette is absolutely stunning. The other one, I can't think of it, another neutral-ish palette, so stunning. But the radioactive, no. Get this if you want that color story. I promise it is so much better. There is the new Violet Voss Coral palette, and Violet Voss also came out with a really bright rainbow color palette recently. There's so many like brighter, summery looking palettes in my opinion coming out right now, and I'm a little confused, but I'm not mad at it because you guys know I do love color. But I was expecting like all these fall palettes to be launching. It is September, and you know, here they come with all the brights. I don't know. Maybe every brand was delayed this year, but I felt like those would have been a great launch in May. But yeah, we're in September and we're wearing bright colors, so why not? So let me know what you think about this video. I do have 2 more palettes that I think I want to review. Hold please. So let me know what you think about this style of video, because I do have a I Heart Revolution palette that has chili peppers on it. It is the Tasty Chili. Look, it's freaking adorable and it's super affordable. trying to rhyme. I also have the Essence Crystal Ice palette, so if you're keen to see me just kind of like try and review some really affordable palettes, kind of like I did in this video, but way cheaper, let me know, because I want to do that, and I need to do it soon before it is literally not time at all to wear these colors. And yeah, so just let me know what you think. If you like this type of video, definitely leave me a big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this may have been all over the place because I'm just like talking about palettes, but I really did enjoy both of these. Whatever your preference is, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these palettes. Neither is extremely expensive, but like I said, SUGARPILL for $28, not bad at all. I'm just like slightly leaning in that direction, but I do have to say I'm happy to have both of them. And yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. So I hope you guys are doing amazing, and yeah, that's it. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. If you ring it, you'll be notified of all my future uploads. And that's it. I love you guys, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.